People will answer, "It is because they abandoned the covenant of Adonai, the God of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them out of the land of Egypt. They went and served other gods, prostrating themselves before them, gods they had not known and which he had not assigned them. For this reason, the anger of Adonai blazed up against this land and brought upon it every curse written in this book. And Adonai, in anger, fury, and incensed with indignation, uprooted them from their land and threw them out into another land, as it is today. Things which are hidden belong to Adonai our God, but the things that have been revealed belong to us and our children forever, so that we can observe all the words of this Torah. When the time arrives that all these things have come upon you, both the blessing and the curse, which I have presented to you, and you are there among the nations to which Adonai your God has driven you, then at last you will start thinking about what has happened to you. And you will return to Adonai your God and pay attention to what he has said, which will be exactly what I am ordering you to do today, you and your children, with all your heart and all your being. At that point, Adonai your God will reverse your exile and show you mercy. He will return and gather you from all the peoples to which Adonai your God has scattered you. If one of yours was scattered to the far end of the sky, Adonai your God will gather you even from there. He will go there and get you. Adonai your God will bring you back into the land your ancestors possessed, and you will possess it. He will make you prosper there, and you will become even more numerous than your ancestors. Then Adonai your God will circumcise your hearts and the hearts of your children, so that you will love Adonai your God with all your heart and all your being, and thus you will live. Adonai your God will put all these curses on your enemies, on those who hated and persecuted you. But you will return and pay attention to what Adonai says and obey all his mitzvot, which I am giving you today. Then Adonai your God will give you more than enough in everything you set out to do. The fruit of your body, the fruit of your livestock, the fruit of your land will all do well. For Adonai will once again rejoice to see you do well, just as he rejoiced in your ancestors. However, all this will happen only if you pay attention to what Adonai your God says, so that you obey his mitzvot and regulations which are written in this book of the Torah. If you turn to Adonai your God with all your heart and all your being. For this mitzvah which I am giving you today is not too hard for you. It is not beyond your reach. It isn't in the sky so that you need to ask, "We'll go up into the sky for us. Bring it to us and make us hear it so that we can obey it." Likewise, it isn't beyond the sea so that you need to ask, "Who will cross the sea for us?" Bring it to us and make us hear it so that we can obey it. On the contrary, the word is very close to you, in your mouth, even in your heart. Therefore, you can do it. Look, I am presenting you today with on the one hand life and good, and on the other death and evil. In that I am ordering you today to love Adonai your God, to follow his ways, and to obey his mitzvot, regulations, and rulings. For if you do, you will live and increase your numbers, and Adonai your God will bless you in the land you are entering in order to take possession of it. But if your heart turns away, if you refuse to listen, if you are drawn away to prostrate yourselves before other gods and serve them, I am announcing to you today that you will certainly perish. You will not live long in the land you are crossing the Jordan to enter and possess. I call on heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have presented you with life and death, the blessing and the curse. Therefore, choose life so that you will live, you and your descendants, loving Adonai your God, paying attention to what he says and clinging to him. For that is the purpose of your life. On this depends the length of time you will live in the land Adonai swore he would give to your ancestors, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Parashah 52, Vayelech, Deuteronomy 31, verse 1 to 30. Moshe went and spoke the following words to all Israel. I am 120 years old today. I can't get around any longer. Moreover, Adonai has said to me, you will not cross this Jordan. Adonai your God, he will cross over ahead of you. He will destroy these nations ahead of you, and you will dispossess them. Yehoshua, he will cross over ahead of you, as Adonai has said. Adonai will do to them what he did to Sihon and Og, the kings of the Amorite, into their land. He destroyed them. Adonai will defeat them ahead of you, and you are to do to them just as I have ordered you to do. Be strong, be bold, don't be afraid or frightened of them, for Adonai your God is going with you. He will neither fail you nor abandon you. Next, Moshe summoned Yehoshua, and in the sight of all Israel said to him, be strong, be bold, for you are going with this people into the land Adonai swore to their ancestors he would give them. You will be the one causing them to inherit it. But Adonai, it is he who will go ahead of you. He will be with you. He will neither fail you nor abandon you, so don't be afraid or downhearted. Then Moshe wrote down this Torah and gave it to the Kohanim, the descendants of Levi, who carried the ark with the covenant of Adonai, and to all the leaders of Israel. Moshe gave them these orders. At the end of every 7 years, during the festival of Sukkot, in the year of Shemitah, when all Israel have come to appear in the presence of Adonai at the place he will choose, you are to read this Torah before all Israel, so that they can hear it. Assemble the people, the men, the women, the little ones, and the foreigners you have in your towns, so that they can hear, learn, fear Adonai your God, and take care to obey all the words of this Torah, and so that their children who have not known can hear and learn to fear Adonai your God, for as long as you live in the land you are crossing the Jordan to possess. Adonai said to Moshe, the time is coming for you to die. Summon Yehoshua and present yourselves in the tent of meeting, so that I can commission him. Moshe and Yehoshua went and presented themselves in the tent of meeting. Adonai appeared in the tent in a column of cloud. The column of cloud stood above the entrance to the tent. Adonai said to Moshe, you are about to sleep with your ancestors, but this people will get up and offer themselves as prostitutes to the foreign gods of the land where they are going. When they are with those gods, they will abandon me and break my covenant which I have made with them. Then my anger will flare up, and I will abandon them and hide my face from them. They will be devoured, and many calamities and troubles will come upon them. Then they will ask, haven't these calamities come upon us because our God isn't here with us? But I will be hiding my face from them because of all the evil they will have done in turning to other gods. Therefore, write this song for yourselves and teach it to the people of Israel. Have them learn it by heart, so that this song can be a witness for me against the people of Israel. For when I have brought them into the land I swore to their ancestors, flowing with milk and honey, and they have eaten their fill, grow fat, and turned to other gods, serving them and despising me, and broken my covenant, then after many calamities and troubles have come upon them, this song will testify before them as a witness, because their descendants will still be reciting it and will not have forgotten it. For I know how they think even now, even before I have brought them into the land about which I swore. So Moshe wrote this song that same day and taught it to the people of Israel. Adonai also commissioned Yehoshua, the son of Nun, with these words, be strong and full of courage, for you are to bring this people of Israel into the land about which I swore to them, and I will be with you. Moshe kept writing the words of this Torah in a book until he was done. When he had finished, Moshe gave these orders to the Leviim who carried the ark with the covenant of Adonai. Take this book of the Torah and put it next to the ark with the covenant of Adonai your God, so that it can be there to witness against you. for I know how rebellious and stiff-necked you are. Here, even when I am still alive with you today, you have rebelled against Adonai. So how much more will you do so after my death? Assemble for me all the leaders of your tribes and your officials, so that I can say these things in their hearing, calling heaven and earth to witness against them. Because I know that after my death you will become very corrupt and turn aside from the way that I have ordered you, and that disaster will come upon you in the Acharit Hayamim, because you will do what Adonai sees as evil and provoke him by your deeds. Then Moshe spoke in the hearing of the whole assembly of Israel the words of this song from beginning to end. Parashah 53, Ha'azino, Deuteronomy 32, verses 1 through 52. Hear, heavens, as I speak. Listen, earth, to the words from my mouth. May my teaching fall like rain. May my speech condense like dew. The light rain on blades of grass, or showers on growing plants. For I will proclaim the name of Adonai. Come, declare the greatness of our God, the rock. His work is perfect. For all his ways are just, a trustworthy God who does no wrong. He is righteous and straight. He is not corrupt. The defect is in his children, a crooked and perverted generation. You foolish people, so lacking in wisdom, is this how you repay Adonai? He is your Father who made you his. It was he who formed and prepared you. Remember how the old days were. Think of the years through all the ages. Ask your father, he will tell you. Your leaders too, they will inform you. When Elyon gave each nation its heritage, when he divided the human race, he assigned the boundaries of peoples according to Israel's population. But Adonai's share was his own people, Yaakov his allotted heritage. He found his people in desert country, in a howling, wasted wilderness. He protected him and cared for him, guarded him like the people of his eye, like an eagle that stirs up her nest, hovers over her young, spreads out her wings, takes them and carries them as she flies. Adonai alone led his people. No alien god was with him. He made them ride on the heights of the earth. They ate the produce of the fields. He had them suck honey from the rocks and olive oil from the crags, curds from the cows and milk from the sheep, with lamb fat, rams for Bashan and goats, with the finest wheat flour. And you drank sparkling wine from the blood of grapes. But Yeshurun grew fat and kicked. He abandoned God, his maker. He scorned the rock, his salvation. They roused him to jealousy with alien gods, provoked him with abominations. They sacrificed to demons, non-gods, gods that they had never known, new gods that had come up lately, which your ancestors had not feared. You ignored the rock who fathered you. You forgot God who gave you birth. Adonai saw and was filled with scorn at his sons' and daughters' provocation. He said, I will hide my face from them and see what will become of them, for they are a perverse generation and trustworthy children. They aroused my jealousy with a non-God and provoked me with their vanities. I will arouse their jealousy with a non-people and provoke them with a vile nation. For my anger has been fired up. It burns to the depths of Sheol, devouring the earth and its crops, kindling the very roots of the hills. I will heap disasters on them and use up all my arrows against them. Fatigued by hunger, they will be consumed by fever and bitter defeat. I will send them the fangs of wild beasts and the poison of reptiles crawling in the dust. Outside, the sword makes parents childless. Inside, there is panic, as young men and girls alike are slain, sucklings and gray beards together. I considered putting an end to them, erasing their memory from the human race, but I feared the insolence of their enemy, feared that their foes would mistakenly think, we ourselves accomplished this. Adonai had nothing to do with it. They are a nation without common sense. utterly lacking in discernment. If they were wise, they could figure it out and understand their destiny. After all, how can one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to rout? Unless the rock sells them to their enemies, unless Adonai hands them over. For enemies have no rock like our rock. Even they can see that. Rather, their vine is from the vine of Sodom, from the fields of Amorah. Their grapes are poisonous. Their clusters are bitter. Their wine is snake poison, the cruel venom of vipers. Isn't this hidden with me, sealed in my storehouses? Vengeance and payback are mine, for the time when their foot slips. For the day of their calamity is coming soon. Their doom is rushing upon them. Yes, Adonai will judge his people, taking pity on his servants. When he sees that their strength is gone, that no one is left, slave or free, then he will ask, where are their gods, the rock in whom they trusted, who ate the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of the drink offering? Let him get up and help you. Let him protect you. See now that I am he, and there is no God beside me. I put to death and I make alive. I wound and I heal. No one saves anyone from my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and swear, as surely as I am alive forever, if I sharpen my flashing sword and set my hand to judgment, I will render vengeance to my foes, repay those who hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood. My sword will devour flesh. The blood of the slain and the captives, flesh from the wild-haired heads of the enemy. Sing out, you nations, about his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants. He will render vengeance to his adversaries and make atonement for the land of his people. Moshe came and proclaimed all the words of this song in the hearing of the people and Hoshea the son of Nun. When he had finished speaking all these words to all Israel, he said to them, take to heart all the words of my testimony against you today, so that you can use them in charging your children to be careful to obey all the words of this Torah. For this is not a trivial matter for you. On the contrary, it is your life. Through it, you will live long in the land you are crossing the Jordan to possess. That same day, Adonai said to Moshe, go up into the Abarim range to Mount Nebo, in the land of Moab, across from Jericho, and look out over the land of Canaan, which I am giving the people of Israel as a possession. On the mountain you are ascending, you will die and be gathered to your people, just as Aaron your brother died on Mount Hor and was gathered to his people. The reason for this is that both of you broke faith with me there among the people of Israel, the Merivat Kadesh spring in the Tin Desert. You failed to demonstrate my holiness there among the people of Israel. So you will see the land from a distance, but you will not enter the land I am giving to the people of Israel. Parashah 54, Bezot HaBracha. Deuteronomy 33, verse 1 to chapter 34, 12. This is the blessing that Moshe, the man of God, spoke over the people of Israel before his death. Adonai came from Sinai. From Seir he dawned on his people, shone forth from Mount Paran. And with him were myriads of holy ones at his right hand. At his right hand was a fiery law for them. He truly loves the peoples. All his holy ones are in your hand, sitting at your feet. They receive your instruction. The Torah Moshe commanded us as an inheritance for the community of Yaakov. Then a king arose in Yeshurun, with the leaders of the people were gathered. When the leaders of the people were gathered, all the tribes of Israel together. Let Reuben live and not die out, even though his numbers grew few. Of Yehuda he said, hear Adonai, the cry of Yehuda. Bring him in to his people. Let his own hands defend him, but you help him against his enemies. Of Levi he said, let your Tumim and Urim be with your pious one, when you tested at Massah, with whom you struggled at Meribah's spring. Of his father and mother he said, I don't know them. He didn't acknowledge his brothers or children, for he observed your word and he kept your covenant. They will teach Yaakov your rulings, Israel your Torah. They will set incense before you and whole burnt offerings on your altar. Adonai bless his possessions, accept the work he does, but crush his enemies hip and thigh. May those who hate him rise no more. Of Benjamin he said, Adonai's beloved lives securely. He protects him day after day. He lives between his shoulders. Of Yosef he said, may Adonai bless his land with the best from the sky for the dew, and for what comes from the deep beneath, with the best of what the sun makes grow, with the best of what comes up each month, with the best from the mountain of old, with the best from the eternal hills, with the best from the earth and all that fills it, and the favor of him who lived in the bush. My blessing come on the head of Joseph, on the brow of the prince among his brothers. His firstborn bull, glory is his. His horns are those of a wild ox. With them he will gore the peoples, all of them to the ends of the earth. These are the myriads of Ephraim. These are the thousands of Manasseh. Of Zebulun he said, rejoice, Zebulun, as you go forth, and you, Yissachar, in your tents. They will summon peoples in the mountain, and there offer righteous sacrifices, for they will draw from the abundance of the seas and from the hidden treasures of the sand. Of Gad he said, blessed is he who makes God so large. He lies there like a lion, tearing arm and scalp. He chose the best for himself when the princely portion was assigned. When the leaders of the people came, he carried out Adonai's justice and his rulings concerning Israel. Of Dan he said, Dan is a lion cub leaping forth from Bashan. Of Naphtali he said, you, Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full of blessing from Adonai, take possession of the sea and the south. Of Asher he said, may Asher be most blessed of sons. May he be the favorite among his brothers, and bathe his feet in oil. May your bolts be of iron and bronze, and your strength last as long as you live. Yeshurun, there is no one like God, riding through the heavens to help you, riding on the clouds in his majesty. The God of old is a dwelling place with everlasting arms beneath. He expelled the enemy before you, and he said, destroy. So Israel lives in security. The fountain of Yaakov is alone in a land of grain and new wine, where the skies drip with dew. Happy are you, Israel, who is like you, a people saved by Adonai, your defender helping you, and your sword of triumph. Your enemies will cringe before you, but you will trample down their high places. Moshe ascended from the plains of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the summit of Pisgah, across from Jericho. There Adonai showed him all the land, Gilead as far as Dan, Naphtali, the land of Ephraim, and Manasseh, the land of Yehudah, all the way to the sea beyond, the Negev and the plain, including the valley where Jericho, the city of date palms, is. As far away as Zoar, Adonai said to him, this is the land concerning which I swore to Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. I will give it to your descendants. I have let you see it with your eyes, but you will not cross over there. So Moshe, the servant of Adonai, died there in the land of Moab, as Adonai had said. He was buried in the valley across from Beit Peor, in the land of Moab. But to this day, no one knows where his grave is. Moshe was 120 years old when he died, with eyes and dimmed and vigor and diminished. And the people of Israel mourned Moshe in the plains of Moab for 30 days. After this, the days of crying and mourning for Moshe ended. Yehoshua, the son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moshe had laid his hands on him, and the people of Israel heeded him and did what Adonai had ordered Moshe. Since that time, there has not arisen in Israel a prophet like Moshe, whom Adonai knew face to face. What signs and wonders Adonai sent him to perform in the land of Egypt upon Pharaoh, all his servants, and all his land. What might was in his hand. What great terror had he evoked before the eyes of all Israel. Hazak, hazak, benit hazak. Be strong, and let us be strengthened.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayo olam nata betukenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has given us a Torah of truth and has planted eternal life in our midst. Blessed are you, O Lord, giver of the Torah. Amen.